Is that showing okay? I'm sure you'll be telling me if not. I'm sorry I can't be there with you today, but I'm really excited to share with you about the power of virtual reality. So I'm going to talk about how we're using virtual reality and immersive experiences as digital therapies for the elderly. So I'm taking this technology out to the community and benefiting the people that really need it most. So I started VR Therapies, which is an innovative social enterprise. And this is just a little bit about me and my background. I'm a qualified learning disabilities nurse. I worked for a nurse for about 10 years. A big part of my career was in brain injury rehabilitation, so it's really interesting listening to you, Ellis, and really spoke to what my experience as a nurse was as well, with the difficulties people are finding in following their treatments. And I found out how we could gamify it, and that really excited me, and it's part of one of the inspirations behind what I do. So I've set up this social enterprise to really make the most innovative and fun therapeutic technology accessible to as many people as possible. Now, I actually work with everyone from children with autism up to the elderly with Alzheimer's, and we're really harnessing the power of technology for that positive, meaningful impact. And a lot of the people that I'm supporting are the least likely to access this technology, but are actually the ones that are benefiting the most. So as I said, I found out a little bit of some of the medical benefits behind this, and that sent me down this rabbit hole of research as a nurse. And once you start looking, it blows my mind. There is so much evidence out there behind virtual reality and immersive experiences and how they can support all different ages, all different conditions, from managing chronic pain to rehabilitation to mental health and so much more. Now, obviously, I'm going to focus in today on using it as a digital therapy for the elderly. Now, we found big evidence behind emotional well-being, so reducing anxiety and depressive symptoms because they're in such an enjoyable and happy place that's meaningful to them. We can transport them from the middle of the care home off into a beautiful forest surrounded by deers and rabbits, or we can go and sit and relax by the beach. Now, these experiences can also be shared as a group, so I'd also do individual and group sessions, and this helps reduce those feelings of isolation and loneliness. We're able to bring this experience to everyone and go on these adventures together. And then we've also got games and things that support physical activity, and this is helping with physical rehabilitation and reducing just sitting in front of the TV all day and not moving. So one of my favourite experiences was when I went and did a session with a little old lady. And as soon as I walked in, before she even said hello, she was, all right, dear, my arm's hurt and it won't go above here and I've got a bad back and I can't do this and I can't do that. And then as soon as she saw in the VR a dolphin swim past her, she suddenly went, wow, look at that dolphin. And the arm's up and she's moving fine and she's not feeling any pain. And the look on her face when she realised afterwards. And this wasn't because it was a distraction therapy. It's because she was actually so scared of feeling pain that she restricted her own movement and her own activities. So you can start to see the wider impacts of using virtual reality. And as I said, there is so much evidence base out there that it's both inspiring and exciting, but also really frustrating. Why is this not out at the community? So how do we use it? So I do a range of different sessions using virtual reality. We could do trips down memory lane where we visit where they grew up. We could walk around their favourite holidays. We could visit the church they got married in. And we can really transport them back and use those reminiscence therapies in a really immersive and powerful way. I've already talked about how we can support with mental well-being and physical health and mobility. We can also support different areas such as history and geography. We can make it meaningful to their interests and their passions throughout their life that might not get the experiences now that they used to go for. So we can travel back in time and walk with dinosaurs and do all these silly little adventures that actually bring a smile to people's faces, makes a difference to their day and gets them moving as well. We do things with ticking off bucket lists, flying off to the Bahamas and swimming with dolphins. We're able to climb Mount Everest and do things that we might not have been able to do in the real world or might not be capable of doing now. We can also support people's religion and spirituality. So during festive periods last year, we were able to bring the church to them. We were able to help bring their religious ceremonies to them and help take them to Lourdes. These events are really important to their well-being and their happiness. Especially those that are getting towards end-of-life care as well. It is so meaningful that we're able to support these areas of their well-being. And also brain boosters. I'll talk a little bit more later about how we can support cognitive rehabilitation. But instead of having boring activities with your therapist that are painful and slow and they aren't enjoyable, we can create really interactive and fun games that support their cognitive function and accessible adventures. Let's go skydiving from the care home, such wonderful things we can do. And this is my favourite slide because this shows the response that I get. You can see immediately all of their happy faces and how much fun they're having with it. You can see some photos on the left-hand side in palliative work care as well, oncology. She's actually doing an experience that was designed with David Attenborough and St Giles Hospice. So this is specifically designed for end-of-life pain and reducing end-of-life anxieties as well. So you can see what a meaningful experience this is for her. And we was also able to bring the children into this activity as well, the grandchildren, and they were able to all go swimming with dolphins together. So we were able to create some really happy moments for this family. Now, meta-analysis of 18 studies shows that reminiscence therapy was associated with significant improvements in cognitive function and well-being with people with dementia. So being able to take them on trips down memory lane in such an immersive and powerful way is much more meaningful than just looking at photos. We actually get to step inside their experiences. And for those that might not be able to articulate these memories and bring them to the forefront, the staff are able to bring them to it. And we're also able to give the staff that opportunity to step inside their shoes and actually see where they came from, where they lived, what the culture was around them, who they are as a person. And that then can shape how they support and approach that person. And the top left was a lady that is obsessed with tigers. She is so fascinated with cats, and that's her favourite thing, and her bedroom's got all cat-related toys and wallpaper and pictures and everything. So being able to take her on a safari adventure, walking with elephants and giraffes and looking for tigers, that was such a fun activity, and that high that she felt lasted through the rest of the day. And we find actually that people need less pain relief. They've got less anxiety, they're sleeping better, reducing the risk of falls. You can see the different connections and benefits start to make a really big impact. And one of my favourite is doing the creative therapies. Now, we already know that creative therapies support self-expression, building confidence, social interaction, helping them express themselves when they can't find the words. The music and the art can do it for them. But we've also got evidence that by stimulating the neural pathways, we're able to encourage brain plasticity, which then enhances memory, attention, problem-solving abilities. And they're going to be intrinsically linked to their mental health, their level of confusion, frustration, depression. So you can see in the middle photo, we've got a lady that is obsessed with Frank Sinatra. And she was proudly showing me a photo that she's got signed and the ticket stub of when she went to see him live in London. Now, she's another one that when she showed me her bedroom later, she's got all the photos, signed pictures, she's got all the records still. That was her big passion, and she loved it to bits. So being able to take her and give her a private performance with Frank Sinatra, that's not something we can do in the real world anymore. But the power of VR allows us to bring that to her. And she was in tears afterwards. It was such an amazing experience and moment for her. We've also got other creative therapies that merge art and music. So each colour has a different instrument or a different sound associated with it. So we can paint a picture and then pick up a drumstick and make music out of the artwork. So as a group, we were able to create this art piece together, and each person added their own little bit to it, and they each chose their favourite colour. Some drew flowers, some drew different things, and all together created this artwork. And then we were able to make music from this artwork. So I've got a little video of Sheila, and she's waving her hands instead of holding the controller. She was using the hand tracking. So also occupational therapy, fine and gross motor skills, feel the benefits. Sheila. It was beautiful, Sheila. So upcoming
You've muted yourself, Rebecca. You need to unmute yourself.
Sorry, that must have, when the video played, it must have automatically muted me then. Okay, let me get it back up on. Okay, hopefully you can hear me now. And so this is just one of the photos from the pilot study we're doing at the moment. So with the lady on the right, we were able to transport her back to her roots in Japan, and she had to leave this country as a child. So using the VR, we were able to take her swimming in Okinawa, we were able to go strolling through the tranquil Buddhist temples and really rekindle those lost memories of her youth. And another resident, we were able to take her back to Somerset, where she grew up, and it brought back all these stories of the lifelong friendships and the vibrant communities that really shaped her past. And from revisiting the schools and the churches to reliving really significant life moments where they got married, our experiences were able to really foster connection and social interaction, stirring emotions, and allowing us to visit each other's memories, which was just beautiful. I'm not sure if you heard the first bit, if it had gone muted, but I was just introducing the pilot study that we're doing with West Northants Council, and it's actually the social services that are supporting it, and the World Health Organization has supported use of the assessment tool. So this is a study looking at supporting holistic health and quality of life for nursing care home residents, and the long-term plan is to be able to get it into all of the care homes that are run by social services in the county, and for it to be a part of the care packages. So we've got long-term big plans for the county and how we're going to be able to support the wider community with this. And this is a really novel and exciting project for the council. So it's going to have an amazing impact, and we started 2 months ago. But if you'd like to connect with me on LinkedIn or any of those, then you can follow the journey and the results as we come across them. And then here's another story I'd like to share with you. So I was invited to go do a one-to-one session with Charles. Now, this is an elderly man. He wasn't in the best of health. He started to deteriorate cognitively as well, and there was concerns with dementia. And he was just spending every day sat in front of the TV. And his family were getting increasingly worried about him. So I went out to do a session with him. And the magic of what we do is we're able to personalise it to each individual and really make it close to what's important to them, what makes them smile, what's meaningful to them. And that is what makes it truly effective therapy. So he proudly started showing me these photos from his youth of him and his brothers. And they used to all do boxing together. And you can see they took it seriously. They got trophies, they were doing really well. This was a key part of his childhood and his connection with his family and his brothers. So you know what we're going to do? We've got to get him back into the boxing ring. And then that's Charlie in the boxing ring. So I've got a short video, but I'll play that in a second because I think it's going to mute me again. And using the VR, we were able to rekindle his inner strength, confidence, muscle memory kicked in, and he was back to his youth, fighting his way victory. He was, winning 3 matches in a row, and he just came out so empowered. Full of smiles, laughter, and he got a really good workout in. He was dripping with sweat after this. And it's only afterwards I spoke to his son, and I found out a little bit more about Charles. And I found out that his mother had passed the year before. And his mum and dad were childhood sweethearts, so they were married all their lives. They'd lived together, since they're in their 20s. They were true romance of every imagination, and it broke his heart when she lost his heart. And he said that this experience of seeing how his dad responded to it, that massive smile on his face, this is actually the first time he saw his dad smile in over 6 months. So you can see that not only was this helping him get back on his feet and physically active again, it was also helping him through his grief and smiling again. His grandchildren arrived, and they were able to see their granddad in a new way, and this new side to granddad, and that helped build their relationship and kind of foster a deeper connection. So there were so many holistic benefits: physical health, mental health, emotional connection, social connection, experience, all these different elements and benefits from just one session, and all thanks to just one game. But you can see on there, those fists were flying, that muscle memory, he was blocking, he was doing it properly. He wasn't just sat there passively, you know, saying it. He was properly boxing, you know, and you can see the impact it has is so meaningful. And these are fun games that can make such a difference when utilised in the right way. So thank you for listening to my talk. I would love to connect with you all as well. I'm obviously on LinkedIn and all that jazz. The website is VR Therapies.co.uk. And my email is rebecca@vrtherapies.co.uk.
Thank you very much, Rebecca. We really enjoyed that. A few technical problems, but with all the brain power in this room, we managed to get them sorted out. So do any of you have any questions to Rebecca? Yes?
Yes, I mean, I think it's wonderful, and I would, given my hypnosis enthusiasm, say that obviously you have captured focal attention with suspension of peripheral awareness, which is the definition of hypnosis, in terms of the visual distraction, which is obviously so positive in many of the ways you describe. I wanted to understand a little bit more about how you integrated and personalized your video experience, whether you were tapping into photo albums or indeed getting, I suppose, current video footage of places they've been, so that that sort of package of care is personalized, but also to try and understand whether it's actually your enthusiasm as the audio accompaniment to their VR experience that is obviously seeding so much can-do positivity, which I would also say would probably be hypnotic affirmations, and then actually maybe that could be built in as well, you know, in a more sort of headphone immersive experience.
Yeah, I've never considered utilising me in the experience like that. What I actually did note down from your talk as well to create is to recombine. And I love that because that is my passion: traditional therapies, occupational therapy, psychology, physiotherapy, and combining that with VR technology. And I was already aware how we could connect with what you're doing as well. To make it personalised and bespoke, part of it is I come with a massive library of experiences of games, different applications. Some of this is commercial entertainment and games. Some of it is clinical platforms. Some of it is, you know, different experiences that have been created by developers who want to make a difference. So in their spare time, they make something that they think their granddad would enjoy because they can see how it can support people. So we have a lot of different content and applications that we bring with us, a lot of different headsets. No one size fits all as well. So that's also what kind of stands us apart from other tech companies. Is we're bringing all of the different companies together and making it accessible to the community. Regardless of the ones where you'll trip down memory lane, there's an application that utilises something similar to Google Maps. So with that, you can type in any address and go and revisit that area and walk along the streets in like the street. And it's so simple. I see you nodding. It just makes sense, doesn't it? Like, of course we could utilise it like that. Why haven't we done that before? And we've also got 360 cameras, so we're able to go and film meaningful local experiences, landmarks, favourite places, and create our own as well.
Well done.
Okay, any other questions? Quick question before we move on?